Also in the winter, you'll find for short periods of the day, suddenly the river will come alive and the fish will start rising. And these will usually be micro olive hatches, so there'll be large dark olives. Yeah, you might have, if the weather's a bit warmer, some blue wing. And generally, a lot of us will be fishing full nymphing setups and won't be ready to target these at all. But if you've seen in the weather forecast a bit before that you're going to have a nice spell in the day, it's always worth being prepared to have a dry fly or two with you and be able to switch quickly. And this is a great winter pattern for grayling. It's the Pearly Butt CDC, tied on a Partridge SLD dry fly hook. And this time we've got the Nano silk by Semperfli in 18.0 in white. Colour's not as important. I like white because when we're adding the pearly segment, because it doesn't add any additional colour. And we can cut the tag out there. And a little bit of a thread base, take it forward. And now we're going to get the Semperfli Perdigon body material. This colour is Iridescent Pearl. Somewhere on here we'll find the tag end of it and take a small section of it and then trap that onto the hook and wind back till we get, you can actually go just past the bend and then bring your thread forward to just in front of the point and then a couple of open turns to get it away, and then start to wind that, and you want overlapping turns. And once you get to the point, what I then like to do is just go back over, not all the way down, but just a few turns down, just to build a little bit of bulk as we go forward. So it's a bit of a taper. And we'll undo those two open turns, one wrap round, and just tighten that off a couple of turns in front and behind, and out that comes. So now we've got the tag, the pearly butt. We're going to put the body in. So now we want this fly to be really buoyant. So we're going to add in some Kapok dubbing, which is a natural dubbing, incredibly buoyant. It used to be used in safety vests, life vests, back in the war times because it was so buoyant. So whenever doing a dry fly, the most buoyant material we can find, the best we'll have. Here we've got the colours olive dun, and the great thing with Kapok is it's such a fine material that it's so easy to dub. It almost does it itself, and it dubs really fine, so you can get really fine dry fly bodies. We'll go just in front of that butt section and take it forward. We want to build a bit of a taper as we go, and a little bit more on there. Great, simple pattern, this incredibly effective, not just in the winter time. It's one that you should have in the box during summer. The reason for that pearl butt section is it looks like the shuck that the fly is hatching out of behind. And then we want to add in our wing material, which is going to be CDC. And because body is so buoyant, we actually don't need to put too many CDC feathers in. So for this, I just use 2. And pair them up, 2 natural CDC feathers. Stroke the fibers forward so they're all going in the right direction. And match it up to the shank of the hook, and you want it to be roughly the length of the body and facing forward. So take your thread up, clamp between thumb and forefinger, and just drop a loop of thread down on top of the CDC. Put a couple of locking turns in, stroke it back, a couple in front, just so everything's locked in place. And then we can trim all of that out there. And we can get a little bit more of our Kapok dubbing to build up the thorax. It helps to be able to tie it quite thin. We can then do lots of tidying turns, and then take our thread in front. Make sure that that CDC is kicking out from the shank. That will help the flies sit correctly on the water. And then in with the whip finish tool. So lengthen the thread off, take it round, but have it the right length that you can stroke that wing back and out the way so you're not catching any fibers. Unhook. And again. And there you have it, the Pearly Butt CDC. And a great winter pattern for grayling when they suddenly start rising. Usually it will be about 11:30, 12 o'clock, and you'll get a quick half-hour bonanza where the fish are rising. Sometimes it will only be in 1 or 2 pools for where you're fishing, and this is a fly that will do the magic in those times.